Welcome to the Dylan Hildreth Show. I am Dylan Hildreth, and yes, you read the title correctly. The first time since God knows when, there is a legitimate chance of Notre Dame joining the Big Ten. How? The reports are now out that the Big Ten secondary media rights, so pretty much they get the second, third picks to Big Ten games each week. So, one of those broadcasting companies that is on it is NBC, as many of you know, is Notre Dame's uh, TV company and where the media rights go. Now, that completely breaks down that barrier of NBC, Notre Dame being together, because now Big Ten and NBC are now like that. Now, this is all on whether Notre Dame wants to make that jump. Do they make that jump? I believe they absolutely do. They know the landscape, they know where it's going, and they know the pipelines that can be either created or strengthened by joining Big Ten. And it's only a matter of time. It could be, depending on when these reports get confirmed and it becomes official, that the secondary media rights goes to NBC and CBS. That is the other company that has that is getting the secondary media rights, according to reports. Now, that opens the door wide open. Notre Dame to go in, officially join the Big Ten. I have seen online that Notre Dame is considering joining the Big Ten full time, except for 6 days a week because of Friday off for religious purposes. Whatever the case, but I I think Notre Dame to the Big Ten is all but done. And we'll get word that Notre Dame is joining the Big Ten either before the season starts or in between the conference championship weeks and bowl season. Before 2023 gets here, we will have word that Notre Dame is joining the Big Ten. The question now becomes, who joins Notre Dame? And it's widely considered to be one of three teams. I don't know why I checked my hand to make sure I was holding up three. Oh, good lord. Anyway, Oregon, Washington, Stanford. Stanford being the rival, Oregon being the better football team, Washington having the largest market of the three. And this will really tend to everything the Big Ten has done strategically, expansion wise. Nebraska, because they are the biggest name, Maryland and Rutgers because of the global of the media markets, and then USC and UCLA, they are rivals and they are in a large media market. So history is not going to give us any kind of predetermined what's going to happen. It could very well say, hey, we got the three largest cities in America. We're going to go get Oregon. We're not worried about Seattle. We're not worried about Stanford. We can make rivalries in this conference because we have that much history, tradition, and greatness within this rivalry. And heck, when Notre Dame joins the Big Ten, it's gonna be Michigan Notre Dame, Michigan State Notre Dame, Notre Dame USC. Rivalries probably forged with UCLA Michigan State. Who's the better of the little brothers? A lot of lot of different directions they can go. And I think Oregon is the absolute best option of what's available in this expansion cycle. 2036 is what's going to kick off the next expansion cycle because that is when the ACC deal is expiring. So, and there's not really much of a question to it, I don't believe. If you have an argument on why Notre Dame is not going to join the Big Ten at this point, please put it down in the comments. I'd really like to know why. And talk about it because I just don't see any other avenue right now where Notre Dame does not join the Big Ten. So if you have a differing argument, put it down in the comments. What you think Notre Dame's going to do and why. So that is everything that is going on. CBS, they're in on this deal as well. They will be getting national TV games on at all 3 time slots. Big noon kickoff on Fox, CBS with their 3:30 time slot, that being held by the SEC, but as some know, the SEC is going full-time ESPN shortly, and then Saturday night will be on NBC. And it will pretty much, to my predictions, it will be USC, UCLA, whichever game has the best game, depending on if they're at home or on the West Coast. I mean, just looking at it right now for rivalry week on Fox, you're going to have Michigan, Ohio State, and then on 3:30, probably Penn State, Michigan State. That would be my guess. Or Wisconsin, Minnesota. Who knows? And then 7:30, prime time on NBC. Southern California against UCLA. What a big win for every school involved in the Big Ten to be able to have their biggest game of the year or multiple games on national TV. On the on 3 of the big 4, they're getting this on. It is absolutely insane. Now, Big Ten, or at least NBC, now feel as big as Saturday Night College Football on ESPN. It can feel that much bigger. Also depends on who the NBC has calling those games as well. We have seen how big of an impact commentators can have on the presentation of the game. NBC needs to get great commentators on this. Fox, they have the best in Joel Klatt and Gus Bradley. There is nobody better than those two in college football right now. CBS, God, they got to get better. They need to find a different color guy. His name escapes my mind, but nonetheless, NBC, they got to go get some. They got to get a big pair ASAP. And they really don't have they've to my knowledge, they haven't had anyone other than Notre Dame as a as a for media rights. It's always only been Notre Dame. This is their chance to really step into it, get that A+ broadcasting team. I'm trying to think of who it could be. Maybe pluck a few guys from ESPN, depending on the contract details. Um, he's God, not Tim Tebow. Love of all that is holy, not Tim Tebow. Uh, Greg McElroy, I think, would be a good option for color. Um, Maybe Sean McDonough, he would be a good option. Or depending on everything that shakes out, it's been it'll be a almost 2 years at this point. Maybe a John Gruden. He's gonna be back in football in some capacity. Maybe the NFL, or maybe Drew Brees goes down to, I don't want to say down, but goes to college football and does color for that those games since he was in the Big Ten. He is a Boilermaker. A lot of amazing, exciting options here for NBC, Notre Dame, and what could be in the very near future. Now, I don't know whether the Big Ten, and Notre Dame are going to say, hey, Notre Dame's coming. We're looking for somebody to go with them. When we hammer out those details, we will let you know. But until then, we don't know who Notre Dame's going to come with, but we're going to get them to come with somebody. Either way, they're coming in 2024. They're going to come in with USC, UCLA, and one other team. Boom, that other team's Oregon. Instantly, you got USC, Oregon, and then you have Oregon, Ohio State. That's becoming an interesting rivalry. And just a plethora of opportunities with Oregon, team who I want to be with Notre Dame when they eventually join the Big Ten. But nonetheless, TV deal total between Fox, CBS, and NBC is set to be about 1.1 to 1.25 billion dollars. That's billion with a B. Nonetheless, I'm Dylan Hildreth. This is the Dylan Hildreth Show.